and endless skies. Oh, I'm living that nomad life, city to city, feeling alive. From mountain tops to ocean drives, unchained I thrive, I thrive.
We're live. So thank you so much for joining us here on Nomads 50 Plus. My name is Chris Kalabukas, and it's my current mission to interview 1,000 digital nomads uh, to get an idea of what the life is like. And today we have a very special guest. Actually, we talked about 7 months ago on my podcast, and today we're doing a Substack Live all around a specific topic. So why don't you, actually, Jerry, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happened since we last talked? I mean, have you got any updates for us on your amazing life?
Yeah, and I'm moving around like like always. So
You,
I
you guys have to understand that Jerry is the happiest guy I have ever met in my entire life. So no one is happier than Jerry, I gotta say.
a sort of, yeah. Of course, I have my moments like everyone, but I can't complain. So
That's right.
and one of the things I stopped following any rules, to be honest with you, when it comes to relocating myself.
Really?
So I know that some people they've got, and which is absolutely fine.
Sure.
But then in my case, I just, I'm a sort of more spontaneous and I react to what is actually happening in my life and what I prefer to do, because
Hmm.
we like often we react to everything and instead we should focus on ourselves, and it's not selfish, it's
Mm.
actually self-care, I think. So keep in mind with everything, it's like we're gonna talk today about creating income streams and in regards to traveling globally, and I think everybody's focused on money, which is obviously essential thing. However, people ignore the fact that money is just part of the picture,
Hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
um, and automatically the business model you will choose, it will depends what do you really want, and you have to be honest and ask yourself, because sometimes people end up in something which absolutely they make money, don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, they make money, but it's like they create another job or another hell. And of course, let's not pretend it's not gonna be easy. I mean,
Mm.
those all those things are simple, but they're not easy.
That's right.
And there's so just to understand, and there is no one magic formula, and I think everybody should be understanding of this, that what works for some people doesn't work for others, and etc. And also on the internet you see like the most visible people, they win in a way because they've got the largest audience, the
Mm.
largest list, and they've got visibility as well, and they're somehow established. But the truth is, what works for those people is not gonna work for somebody, like us, who is, let's say, so somebody who is starting from scratch, from zero. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
talk specifically for people 50 plus, and we never really start from zero, to be honest with you, because we've got
Mm.
like so many skills and experience that the most difficult problem actually is to choose one to be honest with, and
Yeah, there's just
focus
too
on
many
one.
things. I don't know about you, but
Yes,
there's too many things I want to do. Just too many.
absolutely the same here. And like because at job, we were trained, and at school as well, we were trained, we were brainwashed in a way to be good, in one thing. So repeat, and of course this is the way to become really really good,
Hmm.
outstanding in one thing.
Yeah.
However, in real business, in real life, it doesn't work like
Mm.
that. Seriously, because somehow you have to be generalist and have a lots of skills doing one thing, because solopreneurship, for example, one person business, whatever you call it, or creator, it's many things. And for
Hmm.
example, what I see, like people win because it's changing all the time,
Mm.
and you can make, great living just focusing on just writing, but then I don't think it's gonna be good enough, because
Right.
you have to be also a marketer. You have to be know how to write emails, how to convert people if you want to make money, let's be honest,
Yeah.
and you have to be also, with AI. It's great. It can be very helpful, and so many people. There are so many discussions. I'm not gonna go into it because it is completely another topic. However, we can't deny that it exists, and I use it. But just to help me. It's
Mm.
never gonna replace humans and things like that. For example, like what we do now. AI, it's never gonna be able to do this, and
No.
and also what I see, for example, with my clients and myself, certain products slow down a bit. It's like online courses, sales are not the same.
Mm.
And what I see now, what is selling better, something, like cohorts, workshop, master classes, when people have direct access to you and doing live, for example. And this is currently, I think, one of the best ways to grow your audience as well,
Yeah.
because you have to grow. In order to grow your business, you have to grow your audience as well, the number of subscribers first of all, because followers don't matter at all, and they're
Hmm.
like so many. Even yesterday, I'm currently in Albania, and I met a New Yorker, and she's fantastic. She's like in her 50s, so we're both Gen Xers. So we've got a sort of, I lived in London for many years, so the New York and London are a bit similar. And what was she doing? It's like she was following somebody else's script. She has a YouTube channel, okay, Instagram, but she doesn't have an email list. And she had an e-commerce shop which is not even aligned
Mm.
with what she's doing. And not
Right.
only she's not selling anything, she wasn't selling anything, she
Mm.
was spending money, because it was on Shopify, and they're costing. It's a
Oh
great
yeah.
platform for e-commerce. It's I know it quite well, and but I never worked directly, myself, but I was helping some clients to find the proper
Yeah.
platform. So we completely changed everything. So I told her to retire straight away, and we came up uh, with what she moved here, so it's with completely one-on-one calls, and she can start earn money, straight away,
Hmm.
with a new offer. And that's how, you have to base, if you are 50 something, or older, on something what you really done, what is practical, and
Hmm.
what relates to real people, and what is solving. Because she has, obviously, when it's like for me, and you travel a lot as well, so we take it for granted. But it's just so obvious to me when I move to another country. But for some people, and a lot of Americans, they never travel
Yeah.
because abroad.
That's true.
Let's be honest, because first of all, the states are massive, and
Mm.
there is so much to visit, and etc. And it's quite rare for Americans, to be honest, to move abroad, especially permanently. And she was telling me about all those fears, and I get it,
Mm.
because if for her it was like, listen, I've been traveling since the 80s, and
Hmm.
I knew, like, and living abroad for like since 2003. So for me it's like a second nature. But for some people who do it for the first time, I can understand how difficult it has to be.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she made me realize, how in the 50s, it was much younger in a way, when you're younger, because we've got a sort of different mindset. But then I can see also online, people successfully relocated in their 70s even. I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
recently,
70s and 80s. It's insane.
yes, yes, it is in a way, but this is something completely new, which
Yeah.
reflects the situation, what is going on in politics and economy. Let's be honest, it's just crazy. I mean, we've
Hmm.
been through a lot.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
So much has happened in the last 7 months.
so
It's
much
nuts.
has happened, and so I'm just saying that those methods are changing a little bit. And also, um I'm helping. I've got like a client, and I'm helping her since the 2020. So we've been working together, and so I'm helping her with strategy as well. And and she was publishing books and etc. And during COVID and other stuff, physical products as well, associated with her niche. And she didn't have to do anything, and it was flying off the shelves. And
Nice.
now it's completely different. So we
Mm,
came up with completely different strategy. And then first I introduced ebooks. I said, and she was so afraid. She's like younger than me, in her early 50s, but still. And I understand, some people also. She is like an author, you see, like
mm,
creator. She doesn't have to. She's great at what she's doing, and I do
yep.
understand she's got other stuff as well to do. You
Yep.
can't be great at everything. But now the improvements she made. So she introduced ebooks, and she was so against it. She was maybe not against it. She was so afraid. But when she started seeing the results, and because she didn't have to like push it,
Mm,
it was just there, and there is no shipping, and not all these problems with physical products, which I can't imagine, to be honest with you. I know that some people probably make a great deal of money, but I have no idea about it,
mm,
about how to sell physical products. So I'm not talking about this. I just see what some of my clients are doing. So I prefer digital things, but she's so grateful. And also, she's doing more workshops,
mm.
online and physical. And so we've changed strategy completely, and it works for her now better,
Yeah.
like people, especially in AI. Because of AI, people want a real experience with real humans, and that's
Hmm.
what's so valuable. And I can see also, like going live, it brings always so many new subscribers as well, because people, they're curious. If they're a good match, we can somehow work. And
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
that's what it is,
So,
and
so I wanted to ask you. Let's start from the concepts
yeah,
for this show, which is starting with nothing. And
yeah,
I think most of the people probably already had a 9 to 5 job, and either they lost
yeah,
their job or something happened, and they were perfect in their little role. Like you were saying before, it's like
yeah,
they were doing a really great job doing their job,
yeah.
right? But if you decide you want to be a solopreneur, then you have to wear a lot of hats, right?
Yeah,
So you have to do
totally.
the thing you're going to do. So I think the
Yeah,
first thing you need to do is decide what are you going to do, because I think you touched on this earlier with us
yes,
in our experience. We have
yeah,
so many things that we can do.
yeah,
How do we decide which to pick, and how do we know what's valuable to other people? Because I think we've gotten to the point now that we know so many things
yeah.
over so much time that we've forgotten what's valuable to other people, right?
Absolutely. This is a great question, because it's so difficult to decide. It was like in my case, and I bet in yours as well, because we were like multidimensional. Like I'm interested in so many things,
Yeah.
and I'm quite good in writing, in email marketing, in newsletters. And many other things, also I could talk about anti-aging, fashion, and science probably as well. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
long time ago, but at least I know a thing or two. And yeah. So how to decide? It's uh, the easiest method. And as I said before, it's we take things for granted, but the
Absolutely.
easiest way to diagnose this, is like what actually people are asking us at work, what family, and what comes to us completely natural. And this is
Mm.
probably the first thing, because you know what, like people, and I know it's so difficult because you know people do research and they think about what's gonna be selling. And I will tell you something, what, you can sell absolutely anything and everything. I'm not
Hmm.
kidding you, because people, somebody was actually challenging me even on Substack, because I thought, because you know you can make so really good money from hobbies in and interests as well, and this is
Exactly.
often very neglected. And we always think about, you know, health, wealth, relationship, which, you know, is great.
The big
Uh,
three, right?
yes, big three. But you know what? It's like there are people who make six figures from crocheting. You know, they've got their
Yeah.
YouTube channels, they've got school communities, they're making big bucks,
Yeah.
seriously. And with not a big effort. So I would start seriously from something what comes naturally to us, what people ask us, because this is something what is valuable, obviously. That's why people ask, and something what, you know, because we've got many skills, and one skill also can solve many problems, and it has to, the best way is, you know, to solve a real hard problem, to be
Right.
honest. Yeah. So
Well, the whole,
something, but
the whole,
not necessarily, you
no.
know, it's like, and that's the thing. And it's like, the thing is like, listen, we have to we don't have to, and then create an offer. Of course, an offer is something what you can sell
Yeah.
what for money. So basically, and what you need to validate it, and that's it. You need an eyeballs. You need certain ways to get traffic if you start from zero. But you can ask, it's like nobody really starts from zero,
Hmm.
because we know somebody, our ex-colleagues, friends, family, and we can even validate with them. And I
Hmm.
understand it's a little bit more difficult, you know, not having an audience. It's like in terms of email list, because this is another very important element. And I honestly, I know, listen, I know some people who make quite good money, like uh, I met this young guy. He was making over 70,000 pounds, so per year on the Instagram, and he didn't even have an email list. And I told him straight away,
Wow.
I said he could make probably 5 times more. So imagine, it's like, that's what people don't understand. I mean, you can automate Instagram, but you know, email list is the most important, especially now when social media hit the lowest engagement ever. It's like
Hmm.
1 to 3%, which means, you know, most of your followers don't even see your stuff, and you can lose them overnight. They can close your account, even your YouTube channel or something, for whatever reasons.
That's
And
right.
it happens more often, trust me, than one of the creators, for example, he was constantly being closed. He's great. And it's a younger guy, but he's really cool, very creative. And so what happened? He got, about 5 years ago, I think I was more active on LinkedIn, and not anymore. And basically, he was in LinkedIn jail for, like, you know, all the time.
Oh,
and
geez.
yeah, and he got just fed up, you know, with this, and now he's doing very well on Substack because he's very creative, you know. And it's like, that's the thing. A lot of people, hey, they've got a lot of knowledge, but you know
Mm.
what? They don't show their personality. And I know it's not easy,
Yeah.
because, you know, like sometimes we're so afraid, because especially like with a corporate background, which we all been through this, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So it's like we've been there. Hello. So you know, so you have to, you have to look certain way. Like ha- notice one thing, that if you, for example, go to one company, everyone almost look the same,
Yes.
they behave the same, and you know what, even, and I remember this very vividly, because there are certain company standards, so which means unification, and and later on, and I've noticed even with myself, and I was in creative industry, well, I
Hmm.
was in something what was seen as creative, but you know what, like, well, I had more freedom, to be honest with you. Yes,
But in the
that's for
fashion industry, you have uniforms in fashion too, right? You
of
got to.
course, of course, 100%. And it's like, it looks more fancy, but it is, those are, signals, and yes, yes, it is. So, and therefore, like, we're being, and that's how we're trained, and
Mm,
to stand out now, it's like you don't have to be the best, honestly. You just need to be a little bit different and
that's right.
put a little bit personality in yourself. Even the fact that that I got accent, because I'm not native English speaker, but some people gonna hate it and some gonna love it, and that's
Yeah.
fine. And just simple things like that. So yeah, I'm not for everyone, and so
Well, would
y-
you say so? The first thing you say then would be to go back into your skill set for something that
yeah,
you know how to do,
yeah,
solve a problem for somebody,
yes.
create an offer, and then you do that first before you get an audience, before you start building
uh,
an audience.
you know what, if we, let's assume that we basically start from zero, okay, we don't
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
an
No. Like
audience, okay.
obviously we have lots of skills and
Yes,
friends, and we have skills and friends and connections and stuff, but nothing,
yes,
not like nothing that will be selling our product. We have like
yeah, yeah,
zero
yeah,
customers, zero
absolutely,
audience. Yeah.
absolutely. So we create, um a first offer. So basically, what would you do? Um, you just make this offer, which is like, I help specific type of person to solve, specific problem, or and create a specific outcome. To be honest with you,
Right.
without or with, and pain, for example.
Right.
Okay,
And does that,
so
is that generic like that, or do you have to actually create a specific offer,
you can,
which is like,
know what?
I'll do like a $50, like a $500 consulting session, or I'll do, here's a course, or
Yes,
here's an ebook. Yeah.
the format doesn't matter. First,
Mm,
I would validate this, and you would go, of course, you will work, like, validate this with people, who are warmer than you, because, and it will be a good test, because people who are warmer, they who know you, basically, they're much easier to basically convert, and
mm,
just ask them honestly. So, like, I create this, I don't know, like, one-on-one call. I would start, to be honest with you, with one-on-one calls, because
yeah.
this is something, because with I sell everything, like digital products as well, coaching calls. I've got ebooks, I've got mini course as well. And But the thing is, like, you, even for a very simple ebook, you need a little bit skills.
Mm,
It's quite easy to create, but you have to think about this. You can do this, like, in one afternoon, like with me. That's what I did. I did it from my newsletter. But if somebody starts from zero, no, I wouldn't
yeah.
start. I would start from calls, one-on-one, because this is something you don't have to prepare yourself too much. But focusing on a specific problem, and that's it. And you don't. It's not very technical. You can use Calendly straight away, and
Yep.
so there is not much technicality involved as well, because
Yeah, and
obviously,
from a profitability perspective, that's your most profitable thing. See, that's the thing, that
yeah,
a lot of these people who are out there, they're selling stuff and they go, "Oh, I make 10K MRR or 20K MRR." Most of that income is probably from one-on-one calls and cohorts and
yes,
workshops where
yeah,
you personally
yeah,
have to involve yourself in the work. It's not a digital product. It's not something you just throw
now,
out there and people buy while you sleep. It's those
No.
one-on-one personal connections that really make the money.
Absolutely. And also it will give you a good insight. So I would ask, directly, like, would you pay for this? But
Mm,
make sure that this person needs this product, okay? Because if there will be mismatch with the problem, if they don't have this problem, it's just not gonna
yeah,
happen.
they're not going to pay for it.
Some,
Yeah.
no, and that's the thing. So you need to know who are you talking to. Like
Mm,
in my case, is very easy because I do it for myself. From the past, in a way, because I know exactly what I've been through, and it's just like, of course, I ask my clients as well. I do forms as well, to help me out when I'm creating a new offer, or just to zhuzh up, the whole relationship, to
mm,
engage my audience as well. But this way, if you talk directly to people, this will be the best research while you get paid. And you know what? If you are too afraid to charge money, what I did it for free.
mm.
I offered, a couple of 30 minutes calls, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
I so then it was much easier. Then you can collect testimonials, which will definitely help. It's not necessary with this. To be honest with you, with this price, like, you can start with something as simple as like $97. It's no brainer. Okay,
Yeah.
one on one, and it also helps so much more clients.
Mm.
It's like there is nothing better, seriously. And I, for example, because I pay people as well. I don't know everything, and sometimes I get stuck, and there is absolutely no. It's
Wait a minute.
silly.
Wait a minute. You get stuck? Yeah, I thought you knew everything.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't I can't imagine you. I can't imagine you
Right.
ever getting stuck. You're
Mm.
like the font of all knowledge when it comes to this stuff. I can't imagine it. I can't
Listen,
imagine it.
I, if I knew everything, that would be that of my life. Seriously, that would be at the very end. Because at this very point, you're doomed. Seriously, it's like there is one person in the states who thinks they he knows everything, and who is it, and we see the results all over the world.
Yeah.
So let's not go this direction. Seriously, it's like
But see, it's nice to know that there's actually things that you will look out for because I look at you and you're so far down the path of having these online businesses and you do all this stuff and you still need to reach out for help sometimes yourself.
absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely. Listen, and I paid a lot of money, and sometimes, but I never regretted it, because sometimes there are people great in one thing, and you have to find somebody who is like more, who understands your problem,
right.
seriously, because they can. It's not about how popular they are, and I was lucky, like I paid some great creators, no names, but it's yeah, it was definitely worth it, because this way you also learn. Okay, so
Yeah.
what sort of standards, and you can see mistakes as well. What do you think? All these big creators, they make mistakes as well. They're only
Hmm.
humans,
Hmm.
and so you can extract somehow what works, what would you improve. Like, I will tell you example. So I interviewed, someone amazing, Gail. She
Oh yeah, I
runs
saw that interview. That was
all
great.
black. Yeah, but you know what? I could do it so much better. I mean, she's great. Like, she's got personality and experience. It was just unbelievable. And you know what? Later on, I realized I could do it so much better. And I thought of you, because you
Oh,
you are amazing interviewer. And you know
thank you.
what? Like, I can give you an idea for a product, because I would buy it. How to
Hmm.
interview people live. I'm serious. I would buy it. So
Really?
that's how you, yes, I would buy it, because you know what, like more and more we're going, this is like the way to go. We're going live, we're interviewing people, because you, it's called solo one person, but you will never do this alone. You have to like collaborate with other people, you know, to get the leverage and borrow some audience. It's just, there's no other way,
Oh
seriously.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
think, and you're gonna go crazy, seriously, because at first I was like, oh my god, finally, you know, I'm with laptop, blah blah blah. But how, it's like, no, no, don't do it, because it's just, we need, we need connection. We're humans, and you know, like, I don't know, like maybe this newer generation, they're a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, by, I really, I listen. Don't take me wrong. I love being alone, and I don't miss people. But on the other hand, I'm craving for human connection, and
Hmm.
it makes me so happy when I talk to my clients. Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
really, you know what? I can't even describe it. You know, I earn money, but I also, it makes me happy,
Yeah.
genuinely. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Well, I think
I
human
can't.
beings need that sort of thing, and
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
since COVID and all that stuff, it's all blown
yeah.
away,
Oh
and now
gosh,
people are
yeah.
starting to go back into real life again, which is great. I love seeing that. I love seeing that.
Absolutely. And you know, and it also creates some sort of, you know, that's why communities are a great business model. But then,
Mm.
you know, they require, well,
Oh, there's a lot of management.
it's, I'll be honest with you, because people, like, let's talk about Substack, for example. I've got, one of my income streams is I paid subscriptions, but for us, for our sort of, it's one of the slowest way to create income, to be honest with you. It's
Yep.
good way, but oh my god, it's like, I had some newsletters before, but first time I'm having my, and I'm not bestseller yet. I didn't push it, to be honest with you, because you know, I'm testing other. You know, it's like, I'm testing as well. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like,
You have
it's
to try things to
everybody
see what
does.
happens, right? Yeah.
Yes, and so, well, yes. You disclose that I don't know everything, and yes, it's
So
true.
you burst my bubble now, Jerry. I'm like, okay, I
Yes,
thought that guy knew
sorry.
everything.
Yes,
No,
sorry to disappoint you, but you know what? Because I've done myself so many mistakes, and then it comes to me in
no,
a
I don't
sort of,
believe it. I don't believe it. I don't
right,
believe you ever made any mistakes ever.
and
You're
you
like,
know what?
zoom.
Yes, but this is the, because it's so much easier for me later on when I talk to my clients to diagnose what's, you know, what we can improve straight away,
Right.
and it's just so obvious. Sometimes it's just so painfully obvious, and it's so easy, because you know, you sometimes get stuck, especially at the very beginning,
Yeah.
because you don't know what works, and so we've got a validated offer, coming back to our conversation, and definitely, you know, you have to get a way to like constantly get eyeballs, you know,
Yeah.
on your offers, and nourish the relationship, because you know, some people, and also with this, it's so funny, because some people, they need help now, like
Mm.
right now, they're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Most of them, they will never buy anything, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I
It's like 1%, right? Like 1%, 2%. It's like any kind
Yes,
of any kind of email marketing, any kind of marketing. There's of the
100%.
of the 100 people, maybe one or two people like have a burning desire for your
Yes,
problem, to fix your
yes,
problem. Yeah.
100%. And this is I'm glad that you mentioned this, because we have to be realistic, you know. It's like, absolutely. And because about 2% on average they convert, you know, so it will vary, of course, but you know, like, the most, from what I see, the most successful substackers are people who's got a marketing background, and business background, so it says
Yeah.
something as well,
Yeah. Well,
you
actually,
know.
that's a good question. So we have one question in
Yeah,
the chat about what do you do if you're not a successful businessman? I was a security guard and I'm neurodivergent, so I have no idea what to offer. But you do have skills, right?
of
So
course.
everybody has skills, and just plucking one of those skills out of what you've done before and
I,
then
I,
aligning one of those skills with some demand is
yes.
basically what you need to do. Yeah.
100%, because as a security guy, I've never seen any offer in this area, but it can be actually something interesting. I don't know.
Mm,
But it has to be something what's also a real problem. I don't know,
yeah.
maybe what I'm not expert, in this niche, but honestly, like I know from my experience as well, like people make money from such a sometimes weird stuff, and it's just and it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it actually may be a good niche. I don't know. I would do some research.
Yeah.
That's
And
for sure.
here's the question that I think a lot of people have on their minds is
Yeah,
that when you do a job, you just do the job, like we talked about that before,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But when you are a solopreneur, you
yeah.
have to do marketing, sales and marketing. And
Of course.
the sales and marketing barrier for some
Yeah,
is super high. It's like
it is.
I can write, I can do the work, I can
Yeah,
create this, I can create that, but I don't know how to market myself. I don't know how to sell myself. I don't know how to sell my stuff. How do you go from somebody who doesn't know how to do anything in sales and marketing to
yeah.
someone as amazing as you? Well, maybe
Uh,
not. You may not be able to get them all to way up to your level, but at least try to get them a little bit closer to your level.
Seriously, it's like you have to shamelessly market yourself,
Mm,
because you have to change the mindset, because I get it. I totally get it. Like we feel like we're salesy, if we promote something. But I'm sorry, like you and people are, oh, I'm not salesy, not this, not that. I'm sorry, you were selling something your entire life without
yes.
even realizing that. You were selling your time, your skills, your services to your employer. Why do you have problems with selling to more
Oh
people?
heck, it
And
goes all the way back to your parents, trying to get your parents
yes,
to do like,
yes,
can you buy me that toy?
yeah. So honestly, you have to share it, because what is the other way how you help people? I'm sorry. We can, Chris, seriously, we can
Mm,
like talk for hours. If they not gonna make any, if they not gonna take any action, nothing's gonna happen. I'm sorry
exactly.
to say it.
Yeah.
But that's why, I'm sometimes, I'm sort of impatient. But yeah, you sometimes need to kick him in your bum. Seriously, it's like how people are supposed to know what you do, and you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I don't have any problems. I love writing. I love talking about stuff, etc. But then, so what problem do you solve?
Mm,
How you can help these people. So, make it simple. You don't have to make any digital tricks. I think now I did some more complicated funnels before, because I was collaborating with one of the largest companies. They had two of them, to be honest with you, and I was making them, and I like this aspect. But no, make it simple. The
mm,
simpler the better. That's why, what I was. Speaking of which, I was hesitating for years about Substack, because I was like, oh, there is no automation. And for me, not having automation is like, one automated email is like, what is it? And
yeah.
that's why I swear, but how silly I was, seriously,
Mm,
because you can always find a way. That's the thing. And I think, honestly, the simpler the better. You just talk about the problem, how you can solve it, and 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 propose your offer as a natural solution, as
yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
Just
My
keep talking
goodness.
about it, basically.
Yes,
Just get out there and post
yes,
notes, write articles, post notes, write articles, talk
absolutely,
about what you're doing. You don't have to give
absolutely.
away the whole store, but I
No,
think
no,
I've
no,
heard I've heard that some
absolutely.
people do that. They actually they put the entire solution out there,
Yeah,
and still people go, "Oh, well, I don't really want to do that." So I'll hire
yes.
you to do it for me.
I know, that's very true. And I fall for this as well. I
Mm,
thought at first I have to know everything and give away everything. No, and you know what? The simpler the better. And this is the problem, because we've got so much knowledge. We're trying to like put our entire life, all the skills in one offer.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, I was trying to do this. It was awful. It was terrible. You have to make mistakes. Your first offer is not gonna be the best. It's not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
make figures probably. Sorry, but that's true. I know from my experience, some offers will flop completely. And you know what? You're not gonna have first perfect offer. Create it when you're like 70-80% ready, and then ask people what
yeah. Put it
else
out
they
there.
would, on based on the feedback, seriously. And it's gonna crystallize. It's, I don't know, it's gonna how is long it's gonna take, 2 months, a year, maybe even 2 years, but
That's
then
right.
it's gonna work eventually.
Oh, but
So
we're all impatient, Jerry. We want to see it like in 2 weeks.
we are. We are, especially like living in the big cities, when you got like
Yeah,
want
everything's just zoom, zoom,
everything
zoom, zoom.
now. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's we're so impatient, and patience is very important. And also, you have to repeat. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes you're gonna feel like you're talking about this thing over and over and over again, I swear.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're like, but you have to, because
Yeah.
you know what, I will tell you the real thing with one of my clients. She she had a couple of offers, like books, workshops, online course, cohorts. And you know what, 2 years 2 years after she published a book, some people still didn't know that she published that specific book.
Wow.
two
That's
years
nuts.
and that just shows you. And she was like getting a little bit, I said, listen, you see, because people commented,
Yeah.
they give you the feedback. They were like, they didn't know.
Yeah.
They
Well, I fell for the
genuinely.
same problem. I had the
Hello.
whole so I have
Yeah.
a whole bunch of my location independent business ideas
Yeah. Yeah.
in digital product sign, right? And I had it in my newsletter every like at the bottom of my newsletter there was a link to it, right?
Yes.
And then one day I just out of the blue I said, "Let me post a note about it." I posted a note about it. I got like a ton of sales right away. And I'm like, "Why didn't I do this before?" It's
Here you
like,
go. Oh, you see, you inspired me now, because I've never done this directly in Note.
well, I was surprised that it actually worked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
somebody actually commented, "I didn't even know you had this." And I'm like,
Here you go. That's what I'm talking about. And I ask them, like my clients, how many emails did you send about this newsletter? Did you mention in your newsletter? How many? They think. Well, it's obvious for us, but not for them, especially if you've got a couple of offers. Because I mean, offer can be exactly the same, but it can be packaged differently.
yeah.
What people pay for is basically, I got a little bit different offers, but
Hmm.
it's like, in everybody's different. I know people who swear by one offer and they're very successful, but this is like a sort of very established solopreneurs. And then I can see people who's got like several offers and they're
Yeah.
doing really well,
Yeah.
because it's, as long as it's like, because I think now those micro offers are really cool. Like,
Yeah.
it helps people to get the fast win or move
Yes.
forward, and it's very specific. The more specific, the better.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's like what I was saying. Don't overwhelm people, because I overwhelmed myself. I had like probably 4 ebooks. Now I'm
Mm,
promoting just one.
mm,
And also, what I've changed in my previous ebooks, I didn't give the templates, or and now people can, like, read it and apply it straight away. And I think
yeah.
that really makes a difference,
Yeah.
because I want them to win. I don't want them to be stuck.
Yeah.
And
See,
it's
that's the
just
difference between us and the big creators, or not the big creators, but the big gurus, right? Like someone like
leverage.
Anthony Robbins, whatever.
Yeah.
They care about, they don't care if you succeed. They only
No.
care if they
Yeah.
sell more books.
Yeah.
Whereas we put workbooks
Yeah.
and other things to help our customers
Yeah.
actually implement the thing that they want. And that's what we care about. We care that they actually do it, not that
Yes.
they read about it. Yeah,
Yes, because it's as simple. If my clients win, I win as well. It's
exactly.
not only about the testimonials, but I'm genuinely, and whatever. And sometimes this progress is a little bit smaller, because you have to do this step by step. And people think, it's like, let's talk about the money, because everybody is focused on numbers, which is
Mm.
great. It's great to have certain numbers in your mind, your freedom figure, because for everyone it will be different. But I can
Yes,
tell from my experience, 2 or 3 thousand, when you travel in cheap countries, they can get you further and with a lifestyle than 5 or 10 thousand in London or New York. And this
exactly.
truth. And this is something what you have to ask yourself as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to go back to something you said earlier
yeah,
about when you first you put everything out there, right? Because I think what
yeah.
you were trying to do,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think this is what ends up happening for people like who just
Oh
start. They want to promote themselves. They're like, "Oh, you're
yes.
buying me," and
Yeah.
of course, me is like a million different things, right?
Yes.
So how do you know how to niche down to that one thing that people will be interested in? Because I think that's what we have to do, right? We have to
Yes.
niche it down to at least to one thing, one or maybe two things. Probably start with one thing. So like I have all these interests, but
Yeah.
I should just work on this one thing. How do you decide the one thing, and how narrow is that one thing?
This is great question, because that's why I was talking about those micro offers. So basically, focusing on one problem, one solution, and giving a quick win. Seriously,
Mm,
nothing more than this.
right.
Something very simple, something what will help them, get momentum, move forward.
Yeah.
It's like whatever it is, and as simple as that. Seriously, because we overthink and overcomplicate everything, and
Yeah.
that's why I told you I was tired when I was writing it. I mean, I was very passionate about it and put so much effort on everything, but no, it's later on I was like, so I
Yeah.
retired. So
And
and
the micro offers are really good because basically what you're
yes,
doing is you've already searched, you've already
yeah,
found, you've already
yeah,
provided the solution. So they don't
yeah,
have to go to Google or AI or whatever
yes,
to ask the questions. It's done for
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why, like, for example, now whether you give like a simple ebook or PDF, give them something what will move them forward straight away, like giving a templates, framework, something what really works,
Mm,
So what will, because it's like when you write an ebook, and then okay, you get this knowledge, but you don't know what is the next step. And
yeah.
also it's just a wasted opportunity. You can learn something, but it's not really about the information. It's about moving forward seriously and getting those small wins, because you know what, let's be honest, there is so much information. People can talk to AI and they will got the information, but what makes a massive difference, like for example, I talk to AI, let's be honest, but
Oh, we all talk to
sometimes
AI.
sometimes I'm like, no, it's just it's and this is what makes a difference, because you've got an experience, and you know what so this is something completely different.
Mm,
What makes a difference, and if you've got a specific experience, even if you failed many times, that's what actually makes you later on a good specialist. And people very often oh yeah, I started to talk about the money. Yeah, now I'm
yeah.
curious. I don't have Alzheimer though, don't worry. It's it's not yet.
No, you're
It's like
good.
I'm good. Anyway, yes, so people are focused on replacing their six-figure salary, okay, which is fair enough, but then it's not gonna happen overnight.
Mm,
It's because, like, you have to ask yourself, how many years did you have to study, to get the degree? Then how many years you had to work hard in a corporate world to actually get to those six figures? And you
yeah.
want to replace it in like 6 months or 1 year? This is like completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
What I would really suggest, to focus on first thousand.
Mm,
Seriously, first thousand, because that way you're gonna have something to scale, because you
mm,
can't scale zero. If you don't sell, if you've never done any sale, I'm sorry, there is nothing to scale. There is something wrong. And
yep.
people are so obsessed, and I was like that, trying to figure out everything ahead. It's impossible.
Absolutely
Everything,
impossible.
seriously. it's like, and I learned the hard way. I thought, oh, well, I'm so smart, I'm gonna do research, this, la la la. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. And also, it's sometimes you attract the wrong people as well. And in the meantime, you have to grow your audience. You have to grow your email list all the time. It's like, and not just to in purpose to make money, but also to nurture them.
That
It's two-way road. It's like I learned so much from my clients, from their mistakes as well, and I
yeah
can use it in my newsletter as well to avoid it. It's just the way it is. Seriously,
yeah
there is
yeah
like people, and I see it all the time. It's like people focusing also on things that don't matter really. How
mm,
many followers they have,
yeah.
the
What
only
difference does that make?
now, no, seriously, it's nice to have, like
Yeah.
I've got about 50,000 followers, across different platforms, and it's really nice. I'm flattered,
Mm.
but it's just for my ego,
Yeah, like
and
Saint Cash,
I'm
right? Like
sorry,
Saint
yes,
Cash.
and that's like my bank account, reflects what I really do, and or I don't, So
Yeah,
you have to focus on that, because
yeah,
this is the only validation, the
yeah,
only one.
yeah.
And the reason I talked about, coaching calls or done for you services as well, because they're hard to scale. Okay,
Hmm.
they required your time and effort as well. It's not that easy. It's not just an hour. Like, for example, when I with my calls, I prepare myself. My clients, they have first answer certain questions. So I prepare myself. I record it, okay? And
Yeah,
then we come up with the plan. And then I also improve it. So it's not like 1 hour. I give
yeah.
much more, and also energy, So because I really want them, to move forward. It's like, so I
That
put,
is the quickest. That is the quickest way to
yeah,
get the money, though. Like to
yes,
do it.
yes,
Like
it is. Yeah,
pick the problem and
yeah,
then pick the problem. Talk about the solution. Offer one-on-one calls, and
yes,
even if you do have to spend time preparing for it before and
yes.
after and all that stuff, that is the quickest way to any kind of money. Any kind of money.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely,
and
and
then
and
you can judge it by how often you want to do it, right? If you say I need to make this much money,
absolutely,
I need to make 10 calls a month or something like that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and then once you do those calls as well, it's gonna help you to create a digital products as well, because it's good to put, not in one box, not rely on one income.
Yeah.
It's but first focus on one. Okay, so when it works, you can move on to another. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's how it works. And also, it will help you with the insights, from real people solving real problems, to create a really good product, digital
Hmm.
product. And
Hmm.
and it's like, it's never passive. I'll be honest with you. When I started to sell, I sell the digital products. I sold only two within first 2 months. I
Nice.
was like, oh my god, this is not working. But you know what? Later on, it catch up, and it was brilliant. Like, without it is never passive, because you have to mention this, because some people genuinely they don't
You have to
know.
market it.
Yes, you have to
Yeah.
market it. But you know what? Somehow, even without hard pushing, it was making a couple of hundreds without really hard pushing. So it
But
depends.
how long did it take to get to that point? It took you a while, right? Because you had to build the audience.
Yes,
You had to
yes.
build
It
the
took me,
credibility.
yeah, yeah. It took me about 3 months, to be honest with you. But that's the thing, with digital products. You need leverage, you need subscribers, because
Hmm.
if you don't have an audience, that's why it's so much better to start with the calls, because you can reach out to people, you can message to people. So at the very beginning, you're gonna do things that not necessarily scale, okay, but they require a little bit more effort. But this is the only way, this is the how, because people just don't want to do it, because
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really sometimes, like, you have to, it's not hard. I mean, you have to change your mindset.
Mm.
So, and of course, I invested as well into how to go on, how to, interview my clients as well, how to go about the calls, and I paid some money. It wasn't that expensive, and it was so worth it, So
Hmm.
don't do it, like, and as I said, start with even free ones, collect the testimonials, and then you get better and better. Seriously.
Yeah, and then like you said, this creates material for
Yeah.
your articles. It creates material for your digital
Yes.
products. It creates, and it's just from that point on, you can create all this ancillary income that's more passive. You still have to keep marketing all the time. There is no getting
Yes.
away from promoting yourself and your products all the time.
Yes.
That is
And
essential. You have to get over that barrier, and you got to do it. Otherwise, there's no point.
yes, and you know what, Chris, you summarize it so beautifully because it solves so many of your problems as well, like content problem. Because sometimes we get stuck what to write about and etc. And sometimes we're trying. That's what I was a victim of. Trying to be in old time unique. Oh my goodness,
Hmm.
no, don't do it. Like different yourself
But you
yourself.
are unique, Jerry. There's no other
Yeah.
Jerrys anywhere in the world. It's just
Yeah,
you.
sort of, yeah. As my friend said, yeah, there is an experience, so it's
Yeah.
like how to describe
A
in
unique
one word.
experience never to be
Yeah.
duplicated by anyone.
Yes. Yeah, so I love how you summarize it because it solves so many problems and of your
Mm,
offers as well. Because then you can improve your offer. Then you're gonna get insights, maybe something, a bigger offer, maybe a cohort, maybe a workshop, and then and then content as well. Because
yeah.
let's be honest, it's just you don't have to like I would go crazy if I would have to like make up all the content. I'm not that creative.
Yeah.
It's just like
Well, then think about it. When you're recording, you can record it and you
yeah,
transcribe it, and then
yeah,
the transcription, you
yes,
can read it yourself, or you can
yeah,
push it into AI and say, "Hey, AI, pull out the key points that I should be talking about," and then
like
that helped you to
yes,
build the content for other things. So it's the one-on-one calls,
yeah,
recorded one-on-one calls, where you can actually grab the content and do something with it, create something that then you can use over and over and over and over again. So
hundred
yeah,
percent.
that's a great
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah, and also, if for example, if you do a workshop or a masterclass or something, you can also record it and sell as a digital product as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's another way to go about it, and it's yeah. So there are many ways, and
I mean,
also
there's lots of ways to do it. You just have People
oh,
just have to get over the barriers of getting themselves
absolutely.
out there.
Absolutely. And it's just like, you know, if I could say one thing, instead of thinking about this, just do it. I mean,
Mm,
look at so many creators on newsletter writers on Substack. They don't even use, the features available. Like for
yeah.
example, I don't publish all my emails. You can send emails without publishing. And
Hmm.
most people don't even know that this feature exists. Also chat feature is great to involve. There are polls as well. You can create polls in your newsletter as well. Those tools are available. Use it in your advantage and to genuinely, instead of focusing at first, genuinely help people and find out what they really want. Seriously, if
Exactly.
if you're completely confused, just ask them.
Yeah.
Just talk to them
Yeah.
directly. And it's gonna be, because I think when you grow audience, I think that the first 1,000 it's subscribers is like the most difficult. Later on
Hmm.
it's much easier. It's like um much easier, to be honest with you. And the first 1,000 is probably the hardest. That's why I
Yeah.
created a product about this, a mini course. So yeah. um
Excellent. Well,
yeah.
everybody go buy Jerry's course because
Yes, right now. It has got a good 5-star reviews on Gumroad, so it's
excellent.
yeah.
Oh, this has been great, Jerry. I love talking with you. This is awesome. So, if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Subscribe, of course, to plus 50 forward.
And you don't have to be over 50 to subscribe, because you've got
No,
like
no,
excellent.
absolutely. I don't discriminate, anyone. I think and it's great because I get sometimes, direct messages from younger people as well, and this is so cool, It's I love it. So message me, subscribe, of course, and yeah, it's
Yeah, and I get emails all the time. So I reach out to people to interview digital nomads,
yeah,
and they're under 50, and they're like, I don't think I'm the right person for your show. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're a digital nomad. Your knowledge is worth it for everybody.
yeah,
No matter what
yeah,
age you are. So what you talk about, what we talk
absolutely.
about, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's applicable. It absolutely
Yes,
applies.
100%. Yes.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, Jerry. Thank you so much. We
Yeah,
have to
thank
do
you,
this again.
Chris.
We have to
I
do this
always
again.
have, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can't refuse you, because I always, it's
Ladies and
like,
gentlemen, the happiest man on the internet, right there, right there. All right, I'll see you next time. Talk to you
see
later.
you. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh,